Yes, he does. Goes inside the 50 with a third show and Makers will affect the kick, and he does.
Flowers the call, Puopolo, pocket.
Oh,
He has it away.
Not from there.
Not possible.
And Mitchell on the left gets the ball to Hawthorn. Oh, wow!
And that's your
Zero.
5 seconds to go. He's in advance. 13. Can you believe it? He's kicked 13 on the siren.
Hello and welcome to HawkTalk. With Dec, Limo is not here. Limo is off playing golf and the tea time didn't quite match up with our start time. It's all right, we have found a very, very able player off the interchange bench for us, straight into HawkTalk. Richard, Aussie Osborne, how are you, mate?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Now, Limo's headed off to play golf, whereas you've just been out on the training track and sprinted up the steps to help us out. It's not a bad effort, mate.
Yeah, well, I know Limo does put some good work in here, but he's not as committed as the players are this year, so I'm here to help out.
Well, what is the training run like after a game? It was a fierce game on Sunday, end to end for a lot of the game, and then so fierce at the end you had players going down with injuries. Is it just a light run on a morning like this, or is Clarko out there just barreling you?
No, we got a bit of a barreling in the meeting room.
Yeah.
Some things there we need to improve on, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
We were happy to get the 4 points, and we've lost close games in the past, so that was a positive, being able to win that close game by 3 points.
Do you think? Oh, sorry, mate.
Yeah, but there was a few things there that bit of luck could have gone either way.
Yeah. Do you think? I heard on the radio a lot of commentators were saying that those great Geelong teams of the last 5 years, their great skill has been to win when they're not playing at their best. And that's sort of what I took out of the game, that we may not have been at our best, but we still won that sort of game, and they're the ones that end up counting. Was there a sense of that after the game?
Yeah, and a lot of the close games we have lost have been to Geelong. So they've been able to just stick to their structures. Everyone keeps a cool head, and they end up coming out on top. And we're lucky to be able to do that on the weekend. And
what about yourself? I know you probably actually players are never tired of talking of their own goals, but was it when you kicked that goal and there was, I reckon, just about every Hawks supporter was riding at home with you, did you have a real sense of I'm back now?
No, not really. I was actually, after the game, when we re-watched the tape, I thought, that's my first goal since I came back, because I did that tagging job on Hill last week, and I thought, maybe I should have got a bit more excited about it. But I don't know, when you're out there, you're just thinking of your role, and you get a shot on goal, you need to make it count, and our accuracy's been pretty good from set shots. We kicked a lot of points from snaps on the weekend, and if we can get our accuracy up across the board, maybe those games won't be so close.
And with the knee, which seems to have come extremely good, are we ready to see you take one of those hangers in the forward pocket yet?
The coaches prefer me on the ground. But, I guess you got to play the percentages a bit and just do your role for the team. But I think if I find myself in a good position, I'll have a go. The knee feels fine. And I've been doing a lot of jumping and landing exercises, so it's up to the challenge.
And what about, obviously, the big injury to come out of it after Shuey the week before? What about Cyril? Were you on the ground? Did you see it, and did you think, this could be a nasty one?
Yeah, I think I started level with him when he got the ball.
Right.
And then when he fell, I was about 100 metres behind him. So he might be running too fast for his own good. But he was great for us on the weekend, and it's disappointing that we lost him towards the end of the game. And, he'll be out for a few weeks, and hopefully someone can step in and fill his spot. And
what about, the one that was a real big one for me was Brian Lake. Just to have that sort of, I don't know what you call it, like a linchpin or he just seems to have that ability to know where the ball's going to fall or to know where the pack's going to leap. He seems to have that sort of old-style football brain that's just sheer instinct. Does that give everyone confidence sort of running forward?
Yeah, definitely, and that's the reason why we got him in here, is experience. The commentator said on the weekend, he's a couple of time All-Australian player. He's smart with how he positions himself and reads the ball. And our whole defence was awesome for us on the weekend. One of the main reasons why we won the game, and he was just bit of extra value in there for us.
Was there any talk of how you were going to play Mad Jack after that 20 minutes, the week before, which I think is the greatest 20 minutes debut I've ever seen a player? Was there talk about how to man up on him and what you'd do?
Yeah, we just had to try and knock him out again. Obviously he's got a great leap at the ball, so and he's very strong, so you have to sort of stop his run at the ball without trying to get out-muscled at the same time. So he's a little bit like Natanui. You know, he's got that ability to play around the ground. He's strong, but then also up in the air. So he's hard to match up on and hard to stop.
Well, I know there's a lot of urban myths that go on about football and that's about football players and their habits. I know Brian Lake's an interesting sort of laconic character. There is an urban myth that he, when he first played at the Doggies, spent a night sleeping in the E.J. Whitten stand to sort of try and absorb the culture or the history of Western Bulldogs. Are there any plans to get him sleeping on top of the Sir Kenneth Luke stand?
Yeah, I'd see him come down to the change rooms with a blanket and a pillow sometimes. Maybe Yasmin's sleeping up here.
Yeah, right. All right. Well, that's people can head up there and have a chat to him on the top of the Sir Kenneth Luke. All right. Well, look, we had a competition last week, which was we had Max Bailey on the show, and it was pick your favourite Hawks ruckman. Now they absolutely came out of the woodwork. There has been hundreds of suggestions. Before I go into it, I've got to ask your favourite Hawks ruckman. Is it Max Bailey, just because he's going to be the one tapping it to you in the forward pocket?
I don't know, Maxie was a bit of a forward pocket on the weekend. They came up with 3 goals in the first quarter.
It's extraordinary. Do you think you'll ever see for the rest of your career David Hale crumbing to Max Bailey, who then goals with a soccer?
It was great to see. It shows a bit of versatility there.
Amazing,
maybe you might see Paul Piopolo in the ruck or something this week.
Yeah. Or maybe Piopolo in the ruck and you can go third man up. Yeah.
Anything could happen.
Well, look, I've got to say, we had hundreds of entries for this. It was name your favourite Hawks ruckman. There was a lot of love, obviously, for Greg Deere. A lot of love for Paul Salmon. The most suggestions came through for Don Scott. I think people just loved him from that sort of that hard man era of the 70s. I'll give you our top 3. Into third place, and you played a bit of footy with this bloke, Bailey Thompson wrote in, my favourite ruckman was Robert Campbell, mainly because when Buddy Franklin kicked his 100th goal, Robbie started posing for photos with the public while the rest of the team was huddled in the middle.
That was a good vision.
Now, did he cop with a stick from that from you guys?
He did. That managed to pop up in our post-game review on the Monday,
really?
So he got a bit for that.
Has it been black banned now posing with fans on the ground?
Yeah, maybe leave it till after the game.
Yeah, fair enough. The second one was, and you might enjoy this, this was from a bloke called Hugh who wrote in, for me, my favourite Hawk ruckman would have to be big man David Hale, not only for his courageous marks and versatility, but for his uncanny doppelganger, Frankenstein. The similarities amuse me every game. Please, no offence to the big man. Now, we'll flash this up on the screen, but that is the picture. Now, that's David Hale.
Yeah, we actually give that to him a fair bit, the old Frankenstein. He's dead ringer.
But the winner it's got to go to a bloke called Drayton Morley, who wrote in, as you can see from his response, he's named basically every single ruckman that ever played for the Hawthorn Football Club.
He's got straight on Wikipedia there, I reckon.
Well, he's named Graham Arthur, Bernie Jones, Mick Byrne, Paul Abbott, Greg Deere, and Paul Salmon, before settling on Don Scott. Inspirational, tough, ugly, a great leader whose unrelenting passion for the Hawks made him the quintessential big man. I still remember Scotty busting the cork in the bottle of the champagne on the podium after the 1976 or 78 grand final. So he's given it to Don Scott, and we are going to give it to Drayton Morley. He's going to grab the Max Bailey signed Guernsey.
That's great. Special mentions maybe to David Loates, who was here for a few years. And I think the stats were he went on more footy trips than games.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
that's a very good sign for his career. Now, this week, we're going to give away a signed Guernsey signed by you.
Yep.
The Guernsey's sitting here. And the question is, because we're about to play Adelaide in Adelaide, Lemo's hometown, and as you know, they are feral in the outer at Adelaide. And we played our first game there. We've played some tough games at Adelaide Oval, and we want to know what is your best or worst footy road trip that you've been on. If you've gone interstate to watch a game.
I think there'll be a few.
I reckon there'll be a few
entries here.
Well, I grew up in Perth, and so my first game was watching Hawks at Subiaco. And as a 7-year-old, I learnt a lot of new words that day, and they were not afraid to say it to a 7-year-old in the outer. So your best road trip, it could be interstate, it could be to Tasmania, wherever you were sort of out of place and you're away. It is, hit us up at HawkTalk at hawthornfc.com.au. Send your emails through, or just hit the Hawthorn website and follow the links through to that. Ozzy, off the top of your head, do you have a favourite road trip that you've been on for the Hawks? Or
Maybe my first game. We went to Adelaide.
Yeah.
Won the toss, and Schwabby got us to kick into a 20-goal breeze in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And we ended up getting done by about 8 goals.
Yeah, right. All right, so we'll mark that down as your favourite road trip. So let us know yours. HawkTalk at hawthornfc.com.au. Ozzy's going to sign the jumper for you now. I think, have we got a text there,
I train with a text from your socks.
Really? So. It's a Hawthorn-issued Artline texter. Thank you enormously for joining us on Hawk Talk. Hit us up at the Hawks website or at HawkTalk at hawthornfc.com.au. Ozzy, thanks for stepping in for Limo. If he's got another golf game, are you willing to step in for us?
Yeah, maybe next time I'll go play golf and he can stay in the studio.
All right, sounds good. We'll see you next week on Hawk Talk.